All right, hi, I'm Dave Pinot with the Adventure Guide Training Programs at North Island College. Just wanted to answer a number of questions that applicants or students who are poised to register are curious about for the coming fall and winter semesters with the number of changes underway around COVID-19 and how we're dealing with that for our program. So what are the changes, what to expect, timing, people wondering, hey, should I do it now, should I wait, and how will this affect field activities? All good, understandable questions. So just in my backyard with my kayaks, kayak trailer, and my son holding the camera so I don't shake too much. So changes. We are working closely with colleagues across post-secondary institutions across Canada, throughout British Columbia, and then within North Island College. And one thing is right now we're still in this huge sharing of information, best practices, strategies, and a really collaborative approach. So we're in the same playground, supporting what our colleagues are doing across the country and in the province. Specific to tourism and the adventure sector, Mike Neville, who you'll meet, another one of our faculty, and I are part of many discussions, again, across the country in the province, and many of them are sector specific. A lot of it is discussing practices, protocols that are appropriate for whether it's canoeing, kayaking, mountain skills, rock climbing, things that are looking at what's generic and what do we need to adapt for each activity. So right now we're also gathering and part of creating some of the most current best practices that will keep getting adjusted along the ways. But that will be one thing we're feeding into how we do what we do this fall and winter. Specifically for courses at North Island College and every college and university in Canada who does outdoor adventure programming or outdoor education, as much that can go online or into a digital delivery is going to be online. And where we have more latitude than a lot of college and university programs is you can't replace getting out in a kayak. You can't replace getting in a canoe or on the river, in the forest, in the mountains, on skis, in a snow environment. So there still has to be these applied components, and there's really good signs that with what is in the epidemiological modeling as well as the appetite in North Island College and the Ministry of Advanced Education in our province, that we will be able to get outside and do these with approved protocols in place. So the digital format for courses, things that would have normally been in the classroom, will now be online using a variety of web-based tools as well as just basic phone calls. We're doing it by distance. There will be Zoom meetings, breakout groups, still the opportunity for group projects, instructor-led videos and sharing of information, a mix of online articles, resources, websites, as well as other videos and tools that are more digital than we would have normally used, but also brings potentially a bigger variety, and it means you don't have to listen to me as much, or Mike, or other instructors. Blended is going to be what's happening for a lot of our adventure guiding courses, and the blended will be a mix of online digital and in person. So for example, guiding skills, there will be things that we do in prep through web chats, and other things where we meet up in the outdoors, in natural settings, and have group experiences. Some of those group experiences will be a little more local and closer to home than might have been normal, and we can chat about that more later. And then there's scheduled or in-person, or basically face-to-face. And the scheduled will be the specific activities that just can't have an online component. A great example of that would be the, let's say, the rock climbing course. All right, if you choose that as one of your field options. All right, so we're sort of looking at the semester in a September, October, November, December, Jan, Feb, March through to May. Basically 2-month chunks, and this last one is a 3-month chunk. We'll do as much as we can, weather permitting, to get outside September, October, not just weather permitting, but also COVID measures permitting around whether there's a second wave or other things that are learned around best practices. But if we can get out while the weather is more favorable, we'll get out. November, December, We're naturally indoors more anyway. We'll be morphing more to online. There will be online throughout this, but trying to get outside for that face-to-face piece in September, October. More online through January, February, and then hitting it hard March to May with really intensive field experiences. And some of these field experiences in the fall and the March to May period, we have the opportunity to do those together with some of our adventure students from this year who weren't quite able to finish up while things shifted very quickly in mid-March. For the field activities, I've already mentioned a little bit more local. Where we live in the Comox Valley, it's fantastic. There's so many things that are a 5, 15, 20, 30-minute drive away from here in mountain environments, ocean settings, river settings, forest settings. So we'll be using lots of opportunities in our backyard. Comox Valley is so perfectly situated with that, with all of these environments right on our doorstep. A lot of day trips, day experiences, or partial day experiences where students are driving themselves to the location, removing that group transportation challenge of everyone wearing a mask in a van, congregating in a common place. We'll be discussing strategies where students are aware of that pod activity, and the more that they can be very conscious of activities outside of college and how that affects group health when we do gather, that's beneficial. And when we do overnight trips, potentially a formula where students have individual tents and individual cooking setups and doing their own meal prep, where previously we would have done that more as a group experience. Moving along, for the digital learning, things that will be helpful would be to have a smartphone or tablet for portability in different locations depending on the rhythms of your life, as well as field activities for recording, even videoing, proof that you're learning skills, identifying species for interpretation, even short presentations and sharing. Having a laptop or computer at home where you're living is also going to be super useful with strong Wi-Fi connection. And you may find that a headset or microphone is useful too, depending on your living setup and that shared space if you've got housemates or roommates or family. Overall, it's still going to be an immersive, intensive opportunity for personal development, emphasizing guiding oneself, caring for yourself so that you can care for others in the field activities that is part of adventure guiding. And everything that we'll be doing through this semester will be as fresh as ever, because we're looking at all of these online delivery platforms and modifying field activities, and really trying to establish healthy routines for yourself, for community, and for our industry moving forward. So we really hope that this is helpful. We'll have other short video opportunities to answer questions. Really appreciate the common questions that are coming up. Happy to have one-on-one conversations, and hopefully it'll work for you to join us in the fall. Bye.